Hello dear friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Mukesh English. In this video, I'm going to have a discussion about Narayan Murthy's famous speech at Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, New Delhi. The speech was delivered in 2001. A brief introduction about Mr. Narayan Murthy. Nagavara Ramarao Narayan Murthy was born on 20th August 1946. He was brought up in Siddhalghatta, Karnataka. He was graduated from the National Institute of Engineering, University of Mysore, with a bachelor degree in electrical engineering and a master's degree from IIT Kanpur. He is the founder of Infosys. He has been the chairman, chief executive officer, president, and chief mentor of the company before retiring and taking the title chairman emeritus. Mr. Murthy has been honored with Padma Shri, Legion of Honor, and Padma Vibhushan. Introduction to the speech. This speech was delivered by Mr. Narayan Murthy when he received the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Award for Excellence in Public Administration and Management Sciences for the year 2001 from the Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, New Delhi. In this speech, Mr. Murthy talks about some of the values we need to learn from the West. Being a leading businessman working throughout the world, he encountered many things, and among that, he tells us about the values we have to learn or acquire from the West. He's not neglecting Indian society's values. India has long cultural tradition, but in the present, the Westerners following great deal of value system, and we are not doing so. That's why he calls his countrymen to follow the Westerners for their values. Mr. Narayan Murthy begins his speech saying, "The role of Western values in contemporary Indian society is a subject on which I have pondered for many years. I come from a company that is built on strong values. Further, various stakeholders of our company, including employees, investors, customers, and vendor partners, come from across the globe. In this context, over the years, there are several aspects of the Western value system that I have come to appreciate. Moreover, an organization is a representative of society, and some of the lessons I have learned from the West regarding the values are really appreciable to us as a nation. Here, I am going to discuss some of the values from the West. The first value which Mr. Murthy discusses here, respect for the public good. Mr. Murthy says that Indian culture has deep-rooted family values. Parents make enormous sacrifices for the children. Children consider it their duty to take care of the aged parents, and marriage is held to be a sacred union with husband and wife bonded for life. Unfortunately, our attitude towards the community is very different from our attitude towards the family. Although we keep our homes spotless, when we go out, we do not think twice before littering. On the other hand, parks in the West are generally free of litter and streets are clean. We are also apathetic about community matters. We see serious problems around us but behave as if they are someone else's responsibility. For example, all of us are aware of the problem of drought in India. More than 40 years ago, irrigation expert Dr. K.L. Rao suggested solving this problem by creating a water grid connecting the rivers in the north and in the south of India, South India. However, nothing has been done about this. The story of power shortage in Bangalore is another example. In 1983, it was decided to build a thermal power plant to meet Bangalore's power requirements. Unfortunately, we have still not started it. 5 years ago, because of the constant foreign travel required in the software industry, Mr. Murthy suggested a 240-page passport to the government so that frequent visits to the passport office are avoided. Mr. Murthy says that reason for all that could be we were ruled by foreigners for over 1,000 years and came to believe that solving Public problems was a responsibility of a foreign ruler, not ours. Even our decision makers look to someone else to take decisions. Mr. Murthy says that in the West, individuals understand that they have to be responsible to the community. They take care of the society, they care for the society, and they sacrifice for it. Further, they solve societal problems proactively. This is where we need to learn from the West. Successful societies are those that harmoniously combine loyalty to family and loyalty to community. The next value of which Mr. Murthy speaks here, acknowledging the accomplishments of others. In his extensive travels, Mr. Murthy has experienced that we are contemptuous of better societies as well as the little progress. We feel jealous. Incidentally, this attitude is nothing new. Al-Biruni, the noted Arabic logician and traveler of the 10th century, who spent about 30 years in India, he also referred to it. According to him, most Indian pundits considered it below their dignity even to debate with him. In fact, on the few occasions when a Pandit was willing to listen to Biruni and found his arguments to be sound, the Pandit invariably asked the Arab philosopher which Indian had taught him. If we want to progress, we must listen to and learn from people who have performed better than us. Another attribute we must learn from the West is accountability. Mr. Murthy says that you are held responsible for what you do, irrespective of your position. However, in India, the more important you are, the less answerable you become. For example, a senior politician once declared that he forgot to file his tax returns for the 10 consecutive years and got away with it. Although there are 100 loss-making public sector units belonging to the central government, he has not seen action taken for the bad performance against the top managers in these organizations. Hence, what do we learn from the West? That there is an accountability for each work. Dignity of labor is an integral part of the Western value system. In India, we admire only intellectual work. For example, Mr. Murthy says, for example, I have seen many engineers fresh from college who only want to do cutting edge work, do not work that is of relevance to business and the country. For anything to be run successfully, everyone, from the CEO to the person who serves tea, must discharge his or her duties in a responsible manner. Therefore, we need a mindset that respects everyone who puts in honest work, no matter what it is. The next value which Mr. Murthy talks about is professionalism. In the West, people do not let personal relations interfere with their professional dealings. They do not hesitate to chastise a colleague for incompetence, even if he's a friend. On the other hand, in India, we tend to view even work interactions from a personal perspective. We are also the most thin skinned society in the world. We see insults where none is meant. We extend this lack of professionalism to our sense of punctuality. We do not respect the person's time. We do not respect other person's time. Indian standard time always runs late, and deadlines are typically not met. The next value which Mr. Murthy talks about is intellectual independence. According to Mr. Narayan Murthy, from the time their children are very strong, Western parents teach them to think for themselves. Hence, these children grow up to be very strong, confident adults. However, in India, we suffer from feudal thinking. He says, I have seen bright people who prefer to be told what to do by the bosses. We need to overcome this attitude. If you want to succeed globally, we should have our own intellectual independence. Mr. Narayan Murthy says that the Western value system teaches respect for contractual obligations. In India, we consider our marriage vows as sacred. However, we do not extend this to the public domain. For example, I had recommended several students for national scholarships for higher studies in US universities. Most of them did not return to India, even though contractually they were obliged to spend 5 years here after getting the degree. Moreover, according to a professor at a reputed US university, the highest default rate for student loans is among Indians, even though they land lucrative jobs for after graduating. In fact, their behavior has made it difficult for other Indian students to get loans. We have to change this attitude. We are all aware of our rights as citizens. However, we often fail to acknowledge the duty that accompanies every right. We should keep in mind what the former US President Eisenhower said: a people that values its privileges above its principles soon loses both. So let's work towards a society where we would do unto others what we would have them do unto us and make our country great. Hence, through this speech, Narayan Murthy lists the values that Westerners follow. The community must develop a system of values. Everyone must strengthen equality over the individual and society. It cannot be implemented by the rule of law, but such behavior is followed by everyone in the community. Dear friends, thank you so much for watching this video. You can reach me at mukeshenglish@gmail.com. Please do subscribe the channel, click on the like button for more videos on literature, workbook, pronunciation, grammar, communication skills, presentation skills, interview skills. Stay in tune with Mukesh English. Thank you once again.